How is everybody doing today? Hello, hello. All right, I've got the fan blowing on my hair because it is hot outside. I don't know if you guys are hot like I'm hot, but I'm gonna try and keep it cool today. And we're gonna keep it cool today because we are talking about communication skills. We are talking about some of the things that you need in order to be able to communicate better in the workplace and how to actually build a little bit of credibility. If you have ever been in this position, and I'm assuming that you have because I have, and a lot of people that I know have, if you've ever been in the position where you were in a meeting and maybe you were a leader, maybe you were, on the team, on the committee, and you offered up an idea and it just fell flat. People didn't respond. No one seemed really interested. There wasn't any like, yeah, that's a great idea on the other end of it. But then maybe a couple of minutes later, I got hair in my mouth. Somebody offered very similar, if not identical, idea, and everybody suddenly thought it was the greatest thing on the planet. They thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. And internally on the inside, you're going, that was what I said, or that was my idea, or I said it first. The issue there is our credibility, right? Um, the idea is the same, but people are going to receive it differently depending on who says it. And we talked yesterday about trust and the amount of trust that's there and the credibility that's there as well. Um, I'm going to change my fan. Okay. So that I don't die. Okay. Um, I needed it to be cool, but not like a wind tunnel. So when we are communicating in the workplace or communicating at home, to be honest with you, um, if we haven't built that trust and we haven't built that credibility, things are just not going to land with people. They're not going to respond as well. You can see their eyes glaze over, and you can see that they are not engaged at all in what you're saying. And if you think about it, that application is going to play out in promotions that you get, just having the respect of the room and what's happening there. And eventually, those things will actually start playing in on your confidence and your ability to speak up in the room because um, if you aren't being listened to and heard and validated over and over and over again, eventually we just go quiet. It's pretty natural. And I don't want that for you. I want you to hone this skill because it's a skill and learn to craft this so that you are feeling better about the work that you're doing, but also the team as a whole is performing better when we have this in place. Now, Gallup did a study, and only 47% of people on the team, when they get a directive from their leader, actually felt like they really knew what was expected of them. They had like a strongly agree, right, answer. Only 47% of them. Less than 50% of people on your team are in the dark. They don't know what's going on. They don't have a lot of confidence in what you're asking them to do. And because of that, they're going to be worse at their jobs and actually executing what it is that they need to do. And then you get frustrated. And then maybe you have to do the work for them. And that's no fun for anybody. So let's not do that. I don't want to do that. So credibility is built in a lot of different ways, but one of the ways that we can build credibility is in our language patterns, how we speak. And while most of us probably feel like we just grew up this way, or we have patterns, or we're old enough that we're not going to change it now, those are all just excuses, if I can be really honest with you. This is something that you can learn. This is something you can train yourself to do. It won't happen overnight, but it's something that you can teach yourself, and you could even find someone to help hold you accountable and practice with so that it becomes more natural and you learn how to do this a little bit easier. I don't want someone less qualified than you getting the role because they sound better, because they sound more credible. So there are three patterns in your communication that I want you to pay attention to. Um, and then I want you to change and make small adjustments too. So the first one is leading with the conclusion, not the journey. So if you guys need someone to work on a project that you expect to take about a month, right? Let's say that's the situation. Instead of saying, I want you, yeah, or we, have this, and I was thinking about this, and maybe if we get this person in, maybe we've had that conversation, it becomes really cumbersome as you're communicating. And the person who's receiving this message, they don't know what to listen to. They don't know what to tune out and what's actually applicable to them. They're trying to find their why and what matters to them, how they can connect to this job. And if you're just taking them on an odyssey, it's not going to be an effective way to communicate. If we can jump ahead to the end and we can say, we are working on building X, and I'm going to need you to do Y. Here is what I'm thinking. Then they can rest. They can listen. I saw a guy, a communication expert, the other day sharing on social media that even when we're giving our elevator pitch, when we're sharing something to someone, they need to be able to put us in a box pretty quickly. We can't say, "Oh, my title is blah 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 blah." They can't hear you. They need the end point. Are you a manager? Are you CEO? Are you a janitor? Are you a speaker? Are you a housewife? What is it that you do? Get to the end point, and then anything you want to add in, feel free to do that. In fact, we talked about building trust and operating from a why is really important. Build that in, but start with the end point at the beginning and give their brains a little bit of rest to be able to enter into that conversation with you. The second thing that I would recommend is kill the hedges. Kill the hedges. And what I mean by kill the hedges is the maybe, the I think, the just, the I'm so sorry to bother you, right? Those are hedging on the edge of our conversations, and they're taking away from your credibility. They're taking away from your credibility. I received an email the other day, I won't say from who, but from an organization that wants me to come speak. And I guess in the proposal, maybe I hadn't listed out exactly what category my talk fit into. And I'm not going to reply back to them and say, I'm not sure. What do you think? No, I'm the expert. I'm the speaker. I'm coming in to do a training. Let me tell you exactly where my talk fits best because I know what I'm doing. If I come in with these, well, I was just thinking that maybe it could be this, and I'm so sorry to bother you, but what are your thoughts? I've lost all credibility. They will not see me as an expert. I'm no longer a thought leader, and I will probably not be invited. So when you're communicating, kill those hedges. Say what you mean. Be kind, but be direct. Get the words out. It matters. And then I would love for you to think about committing. What are you going to go in on? What are you going to go in on? What are you going to stand 10 toes down on? Is it going to be, I'll try, or is it going to be, I will? Is it going to be, I'll think about it, or is it, you'll have it by the end of the day? There's a difference in how we relay what we're saying. It instantly builds that trust and that credibility. And coming out with that confidence of just being able to say, this is what it is going to allow for other people to feel like, oh, okay, well, I can trust them. They they must be telling the truth. They're credible because what you're saying is direct and to the point. It's very subtle and it's very subconscious, and most people may not even be able to pull out why they believe that person but not you, or why they doubt that you'll get that thing done that you said you were going to do. And it's a lot of those little pieces in our language that we're using that we are not aware of. And this, listen, I love AI, and I've told you guys I use AI, but this AI can't, it can write your email, but it can't like step into your mouth and talk for you, right? There's some things that like human to human, we need to develop these skills and really make them better and beef them up. This is where you have the room to build trust, and it's your room alone. And I would encourage you to take the time that you need to really invest into this. So if you can do something today to start implementing this, look for those hedge words. Look for them in your conversation, look for them in your email, look for them in your presentations. How are you using these hedge words? How are you using these hedge words? And how are they maybe even subtly working against you? The first step is being able to identify them, and then you can actually start to keep them out of your verbiage so that you can instill more credibility and more trust in your team, even if you just took one of them out instead of I think maybe, or sorry, quick question, or I just pick one if you want to and focus in on that one. Okay. All right. I hope this lands, and I'm sure it does. I'm sure that we are all dealing with this in one way or another, and I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what's going on for you. Please feel free to shoot me an email and let me know what might change for you if you start implementing some of these practices and building that credibility. I'll talk to you guys soon.